Today we're checking out some more Star Trek The Next Generation Season 6. Alright. No captain's log.
Good morning, Commander. Data?
I want to hang out with Data again soon.
The lateral sensor arrays ran 3 separate spectral analyses on the Alwaner Nebula on 3 distinct frequencies.
I'm sorry I missed it.
I forgot he stays up all night on the night shift.
Very well. Isn't Lieutenant Worf scheduled to replace Ensign Tarragon?
Yes, sir. I was not informed of any change in the...
He didn't show.
He's never late. Riker to Lieutenant Worf.
Hope he's okay.
Something's wrong. Mr. Data, you have the bridge.
Security team, meet me on deck 7, section 25 Beta.
Aye, sir.
I'm worried about Worf. Didn't show up for work, not answering comms. What the frig?
Authorization. Riker Alpha 60.
What is this, like a Klingon ceremony right now?
Worf. What the hell are you doing?
For real? Well, that's disturbing. And like, if this was like some kind of ritual that he had to do, like, no problem, book the day off. I'm sure it will be fine. But like this, there's like candles. He must have set this up to do this, like a meditation. What the frig? Okay, we'll find out. Those crazy Klingons. Rightful Heir. He looks a little better now. Thank goodness.
Mr. Worf, your personal affairs are strictly your own concern until they interfere with the operation of the ship. You have now crossed that line.
Oh, my.
Ever since I returned from the Cryo system, I have felt empty.
Oh.
Does this have something to do with the Klingons you rescued from Karaya 4?
Mm-hmm.
How he gave us strength and honor, and how he promised to return one day and lead us again.
What was he summoning him? Kind of Klingon seance?
It's better that you didn't try the holodeck instead of setting fire to your quarters.
Using the holodeck
Right.
would not have been appropriate.
Why?
I gave Talk and the others a belief in Stovokor, the life which lies beyond this life where Kalis awaits us.
Like heaven? Like Jesus? Like, that's what this is sounding like.
To lose something, one must first possess it. I am not sure I ever had a true belief.
He's questioning his faith. He questions himself a lot, I think.
My behavior has been
Inexcusable.
I'm surprised how hard he's
Understandable.
coming down on him.
It may be that what you are looking for cannot be found here.
Or anywhere in this plane of existence, man.
In Klingon beliefs, in order to discover if they can hold any truths for you.
Is he gonna go back to Klingon?
As of this moment, Mr. Worf, you are on leave.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
But when you set foot on this ship again,
Be ready for duty. No more seances on work time.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thank you, sir.
Is he gonna take his son? Something tells me no. Whoa. This is where he's going? I didn't think we'd get another Klingon episode so soon. I didn't really realize Klingons had such deep faith either.
You're only 19, and yet your place among the honored dead is already secure. Take him back to his chamber. Let him sleep.
Is this for real? He's like, he wants to have a vision like that. He thinks it's something like deficient in himself, which is why he can't get there, but I don't know.
Then Kalis pointed to a star in the sky and said, "Look for me there, on that point of light."
Maybe they should go there.
On a world circling that distant point of
They
light.
did go there. I see.
It has been 15 centuries since he made that promise, and still we wait.
That is faith.
Let him speak to you with your mind unclouded by doubt or hesitation. Only then can you find what you are looking for.
I am very curious to see if he actually has like a vision. I mean, he's trying. He's in the zone. Oh. Is that him? Is he really seeing it? Like a vision? Everyone else can see him too. I thought maybe the other guy couldn't see him and he was running out to tell something.
And I have returned.
To Worf. Commercial break. Worf summoned him. Now what? After 15 centuries?
What are you doing?
Looking at the batleth.
Who are you?
It is Kalis.
I have returned.
Checks out.
Who here knows the story of how this sword was forged?
I want to know.
No one knows.
I want to know.
And after I used it to kill Molo, I gave it a name. Batleth.
Batleth. Cool name.
It was never written down so that if he returned, we could be sure it was Kalis.
Verified.
I have returned, and I will lead my people again.
To lead? Are they gonna go to war or something?
Bach, Kalis, Vorna, Do, Bach, Kalis.
Worf's not getting down on his knees.
I was getting my tricorder.
Tricorder? Is it a weapon?
No.
Does he want to see what he's made of?
I intended to use it to see.
To see if I was real.
Yeah.
Proceed. Well,
It's real.
what else could I be?
There are many possibilities. A shapeshifter, a holographic projection.
An imagination, hallucination.
I appeared to you in a vision in the caves of Nomat. You were just a child then.
Huh.
You still do not believe it is me, do you, Wolf?
He is very skeptical. That's his nature. Thinking about the title of this episode, too, Rightful Heir, and he said he appeared to him as a child and told him he would do something no other Klingon has done. What is going on?
After 3 days, I'm beginning to wonder if you know how to do anything else.
Questions are the beginning of wisdom.
Facts. I agree.
A leader need not answer questions of those he leads. It is enough that he says to do a thing and they will do it. If he says to fight, they fight. If he says to die, they die.
If the commander is worthy of that trust.
No, Jatlak.
What? Fight? No. I did not think that it would come to this. I mean, I feel like Klingons fight to the death, yo. Guys, you don't need to fight. Just kidding.
Look at us! 2 warriors, locked in battle, fighting for honor!
For nothing.
Yes!
Dude,
We are Klingons! We are Klingons! We are
okay, I thought they weren't feeling his speech, but they are. They're feeling it.
Klingons! We are
Is war? Commercial break.
The Enterprise is to proceed directly to the planet Boreth to take aboard a very unusual guest.
Are they bringing him aboard? For what?
He may be a coalescent being taking Klingon form, or a bioreplicant
Or Q?
who has been surgically altered to look like Kalis.
There is another possibility.
That's really him.
He could be the real Kalis. He may have actually returned as he promised.
They don't believe it.
But I have trouble believing that the man that I escorted from Deck 8 is supernatural.
I did not say that he is.
But kind of.
Nor to tell anyone what they should believe. We are simply to transport Kalis to the home world.
Back to Klingon.
He will be treated as an honored guest.
Okay. Fair enough.
Lieutenant,
Data, what do you make of this?
how will you determine whether or not this is the real Kalis?
It is not an empirical matter. It is a matter of
Spirituality?
perhaps some other time, Commander. Do not believe I can provide much insight at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's not very steadfast in his belief right now, anyway. Look at that menacing Klingon ship. Even when they're nice, the ship is menacing.
Welcome aboard, Gowron.
Where is he, Picard?
Gowron, we meet again.
That you're referring to Kalis.
I am referring to the filthy Patak who is using his name.
I think he might be real, I'm not sure.
What kind of fools do you have working for you, Picard? The imposter's been aboard for nearly a day.
It's not his job to do that.
Kalis has been dead for 1,000 years, but the idea of Kalis is still alive. Have you ever fought an idea, Picard?
Unless it really is him. We're gonna need to test something. I don't know how you test it, really.
A knife that is supposed to be stained with the blood of Kalis. He wants to run a genetic analysis.
Blood for blood?
Perhaps it is time to settle the doubts of those who still do not believe.
Yeah, do the test if you have nothing to hide, I guess. I am curious if he's an imposter or not.
Run a genetic comparison on this blood sample and the tissue belonging to Kalis. The genetic pattern.
Match. It really is him.
It is true. Kalis has returned.
Wow. Commercial break. This is wild.
I'm sorry. Our replicator did not do justice to Klingon Warnog.
Warnog. I can't help but think that this is exactly what would happen if, like, a guy claiming to be Jesus came back. We'd have to, like, genetic test him or something. Some people would believe and half wouldn't.
May I ask you about
When you were
death?
young. Oh,
What awaits us beyond this life?
good question. Good question.
I'm merely a traveler, someone who has journeyed back and forth between this world and the next.
I see. A traveler. Cool.
I want you to have a place at my side as we restore honor to our people.
And keep the peace. Is it keep the peace or is it start a war?
Do you really think that every Klingon in the Empire will bend his knee just because Koroth says he is Kahless?
I think he is.
Your own test proved it.
I will not hand over the Empire to Koroth.
He doesn't believe it.
Have always opposed me. This is nothing more than a ploy for them to finally seize power.
It would be a very good plan if it was.
Side by side to keep the Empire from being torn apart, will you stand by and let these imposters destroy?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he's an imposter or not. I'm Team Worf, okay? I'm Team Worf. He's got both leaders saying, come with me and we can do it together.
Give him a chance to lift your spirit and cleanse your heart before you take up arms.
I am 50-50 split on whether this guy is an imposter or not, but I'm Team Worf.
I see that not all fools die young.
Whoa, those platform shoes.
I am not afraid, he said. I will not hide my face behind stone and mortar. The next day, the storm came, and the man was killed. The wind does not respect a fool. Stand before the wind, Gowron.
See the wind.
What was his name?
Still testing him.
How tall was he?
Does he know the
color?
answers?
What his eyes?
It was long ago and in another lifetime.
That's kind of fair. It's been 1,000 years.
To lead them back to the way of honor and the glory that once was theirs and can be again.
But also suspicious if he's an imposter.
Or pick up a blade.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I should have known. It's going to come to a fight, isn't it? Let's settle this like Klingons, I guess. Imagine it is really him, though, and then Gowron kills him.
Try, Gowron, but not enough.
And is he kind of supernatural? Does he have any powers?
Mistrust and suspicion that you've forgotten what it means to be truly Klingon.
To be truly Klingon and enjoy the fight. Crazy eyes. Commercial break. Maybe it isn't him. I don't know.
You did not know the name of the man who faced the storm. You do not even know what real Warnock tastes like. And you certainly are not the greatest warrior of all.
Yeah, spill it. Okay, I'm with Worf. I guess we're imposter now.
We were able to use an organic sample of the first Kahless.
The first Kahless.
How many Kahluses are there? A clone. So it is him, but it's not the original.
What is
Ah,
a clone?
We gave you memories, and not just any memories. We gave you the experiences of Kahless.
but it's not him.
I did not do any of the things that I remember.
That's crazy.
I was never in the city of Quinlat.
He's losing his own faith.
Before that time, you were unconscious in a laboratory where we accelerated your growth, corrected any genetic anomalies.
Not cool, guys. Just laugh.
They grew you in a test tube like some kind of fungus.
Not his fault.
You who have brought to life this lie and called it Kahless. It is not a lie.
No, it's a lie. That's not how it goes.
If you tell Gowron what we have told you, it will destroy him, the last chance to restore hope to our people.
Unless the real guy actually comes back when he's supposed to, if it's real.
Do you still think the real Kahless will return someday? Or has this experience only deepened the spiritual crisis which originally sent you to Boreth?
It's a good question. It probably didn't help.
I once had what could be considered a crisis of the spirit.
You.
Did he?
However, I realized that if I were simply a machine, I could never be anything else. I could never grow beyond my programming.
And we know he wants that.
How did you come to your decision?
I mean, faith is a choice.
I made a leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
I will have you and this abomination put to death.
It does not matter, Gowron. You will still not be able to stand against him.
Can you talk sense into him?
He's not real, you just said so.
I said he was not Kahless.
The legend is real.
What are you saying? That I should just hand over the Empire?
No, that would be unwise as well.
What is he saying, though? Just pretend that he's the real guy? Like, install him and don't tell anyone he's a clone?
There hasn't been an emperor in 3 centuries.
The political power
Emperor.
will remain with the High Council. Kahless would be a figurehead, but
A figurehead.
you would have the power to mold the Klingon heart. You could return them to honorable ways according to the original teachings of...
Does he even want to?
And what will we tell the people about their new emperor? That he appeared in a cave or a laboratory?
Not the truth.
the truth.
Oh!
All of the truth.
Wow, okay, alright.
We'll tell them that even if he is not the real Kahless, he is the rightful heir to Kahless.
I don't know how well that will go over.
It is acceptable.
Wow. The truth. I mean, Worf is not a lying guy, but I'm just surprised at this plan.
No.
Well, alright, if all these guys will bend a knee.
You doubt the real Kahless will return one day. You doubt that he is still waiting for you in Stovoko.
Yes.
What is important is that we follow his teachings. Perhaps the words are more important than the man.
Okay.
Kapla, son of Mok.
Kapla.
Kapla. Kahless.
Wow, the end. Okay, that was season 6, episode 23, and that one was really interesting. I especially liked the twist when it turned out that he was a clone. But I mean, originally this episode seemed very much an allegory for like Christianity or other religions too, but specifically like ones where they have someone coming back at a later time, you know, like I'm thinking of like a Jesus figure or whatever. I just thought that was really interesting that they kind of went there in a pretty obvious way. And I didn't really realize that like faith in this way was so integral to the Klingons. I really didn't know that. And it was cool to see Worf really wrestling with his faith, that we haven't really seen that. I mean, we've seen him wrestle with a lot of stuff, usually internally, about how like his honor and whether he's a good Klingon and you know the way he was raised and all of that kind of stuff, but not so much like specifically about like faith or believing in this one deity type figure. So that was interesting. And then, you know, the deity figure comes back. It was sort of a mystery of like, well, is he an imposter or not? I mean, I was on the fence the whole time pretty much. I just know that I was like I said, Team Worf, and I just wanted him to be okay with whatever happened. But then we get the twist with the clone, and I think that that's a really interesting idea. I've thought about it before. I mean, I'm sure we all have, like, what would happen if you know, one of the religions that has the idea of a deity type figure coming back, they're supposed to come back and then, you know, reign over and peace will come back and all that stuff. So if like a Jesus appeared somewhere on the earth, you know, said, hey, I'm back, it's me, I'm the real guy, I mean, how many people would believe it? I'd be so curious what would happen. A certain amount of people would absolutely believe it, but a certain amount of people would demand proof, and no amount of proof would ever be enough for some people, right? It's just such an interesting thing to think about, really. Regardless of whatever your religious beliefs are, it's an interesting idea. But then you throw in the clone thing, and that's something I've never thought about. So I mean, in this episode, they're basically saying that the question of whether there was an actual guy in the distant past that was this figure, I mean, he did exist. He had to exist because they took his DNA and cloned him. So that they sort of settled that he really did exist. Yes, we don't know if he ever would have really come back. That was never answered. But he really did exist, and they were able to clone him. And then so at that point, what is the deal with the clone? Should you worship him the same as the other guy, the real guy? I mean, no, that doesn't feel quite right to me, and it didn't feel quite right to Worf. But I was surprised that Worf decided to stand behind him and say, like, we need to install him as emperor. This will help bring peace. People will still follow him for moral guidance and things like that. And we need to tell the truth about it. That's the surprising part. Not that I think Worf is a liar. I think he's very much a truth guy. But I just think that that's the tricky part of it. I think if that really happened in real life with like a Jesus type figure, and then it was a clone, but they were like, let's follow him anyway. Let's make him emperor of the world. We'll follow him anyway because it's all the same DNA and memories. So it's good enough, you know. It's a good representation. It could still help. I don't know how many people would follow. I don't know. I just think it's making my wheels turn in such a cool way that like I've never thought about these kind of questions. So very cool. I'm liking where my brain is flitting off to after seeing this. Very curious to know what you guys think of this episode. Super curious. So please do let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope you had a great time too. And I will see you next time. Bye guys.